Oh, then it gets cut off at the end.
Oh, we're here, we're live. Yeah, we did. We always cut off like that. It's a bit mad. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone live. Obviously, you can see who I have here as guest. Hill versus Babyface. Welcome.
How you doing? Good to see you, dude.
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Listen, thank you firstly for getting back to me and coming on. I really appreciate it.
No problem at all.
Someone is saying streaming is playing up. Yeah, there might be a few little problems. There has been problems with everybody's YouTube channel, especially Jordan's streams. Make sure as well you do us a favor, subscribe to Az's channel and also mine, and make sure you share the link as well, because in some cases it's being ghosted, believe it or not. Even a channel like mine gets ghosted, which is ridiculous. But yeah, okay, let's talk about Looney Tunes. The wife just told me before we come on air anyway. I did see a little something about it, but I've heard they've changed Looney Tunes, and I've also seen that HBO Max have taken down Gone with the Wind. I just want to ask your opinion on all of this madness, because I think, personally speaking, I've said this already, I think people have actually lost the plot now. Where does all this madness stop? I mean, it seems to be a lot of deflecting happening, but the issues that are at hand are not actually being sorted out. I mean, I haven't... everybody that every YouTube channel that I've seen so far obviously thinks this is pop culture being erased. What do you think? What is your personal feelings on it? Yeah.
Well, it's insanity. It's absolute insanity. At the moment, corporations, companies, politicians, they just don't know which way to turn. They don't know which way the wind's blowing, and they're trying their hardest to placate what they think is the inverted commas right side of history.
Yeah.
While ultimately they are just pandering to terrorism.
Oh my God.
Which is, you have these Antifa, essentially Antifa terrorists, and they're screeching and they're shouting and they're pulling everything down, and corporations are panicking.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get your channel into trouble, so I'll just kind of skirt around the issue. But we have the whole BLM business, and it's just like, why would anyone support BLM when black people are killing each other on the streets right now during these protests, showing that they don't have any respect anyway for their own, what they would class as their own culture. So why would you expect any rational, normal human being to support a cause when you're out in the street saying Black Lives Matter and then you're shooting black people during those protests? So we have this complete and utter farcical situation where every corporation under the sun is just like, are these the people that buy our product? I think so. I don't know. Maybe. Should we put out a statement?
Yeah.
And you just like, for Christ, you had even Yorkshire Tea putting out a statement. I felt like just saying, shut the fuck up and make tea, bitch. But
no, you're right. It's utter madness right now. I mean, you have a PlayStation like myself, I assume, because you're obviously doing the PlayStation stream after this one. And by the way, don't forget to jump in on his stream straight after this. He's going live at 8, I think. Is it 8 o'clock?
I'm going to be going live about 8:30.
8:30. But join him anyway. He's going to be on. But even on PlayStation 4, when I put on certain games, you have, the obligatory message now. It seems to be everybody is apologizing. See, this is what I have a problem with. There's people apologizing that shouldn't actually be really apologizing. The past is the past. Yes, we have made mistakes in the past, but nobody's dealing with the issues. They're just going back.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How many slaves do you have in your house?
None.
How many slaves have you ever had in your house?
None.
How many slaves are you responsible for?
Zero.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Because that's pretty much 99% of the planet, you know?
Yeah.
Apart from in some, third world countries where they still utilize slavery, but I don't see any celebrities going over there to protest. I don't see any celebrities going over to Saudi Arabia with a pride flag
or the
supporting, So it's just all projecting. It's all projection. It's all meaningless. They don't truly have the courage of their own conviction. I've been saying this a lot in recent videos. It's just about pandering and making yourself feel good and making yourself feel righteous. And the celebrities, especially during the whole COVID stuff, have exposed themselves as lunatics, absolute narcissistical lunatics, and they're at it again today. They put another ensemble placation out today. But we have politicians on their knees. We have chiefs of police and chiefs of fire washing people's feet. This is sick. This is a sickness. There was a march in the UK where some white people allowed themselves to be chained up and were being dragged around by black people with t-shirts on saying, "I'm so sorry."
Wow.
This is a crazy level of white guilt. I have no white guilt because I have nothing to be guilty about.
Yeah.
I treat people as people.
Yeah.
And that's how you should treat them. It doesn't matter if they're black, gay, purple, green, whatever. You treat that person based on how they treat you. That was how I was brought up.
Exactly.
And so if they're an arsehole to me, I'll be an arsehole back. Yeah. If they're cool with me, I'll be cool with them. But I have nothing to personally feel guilty about. I'll bend down for no one. And I'm not washing anyone's feet unless it's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one now. Scarlett Johansson, not a bother. Yeah, I think you'd be fighting me for that one now, I have to be honest. Even though I'm a married man, I think we'd have to be fighting on that one. But, no, you're right. I've been watching it now. Haven't really commented too much on the whole situation, but when I have, all I've just said is basically, listen, at the end of the day, all of this is just deflecting from the issues that we actually have in society. And nobody for 1 second is saying that there isn't an issue with racism. It's just everybody has just lost the plot right now. I mean, you're right. But it's spreading to the UK. It's even here as well in Ireland. It's all around the world. And people think now it's a free-for-all and they can go and beat up cops because of a small minority of bad apples, and that's all it is. And I hear people say, "Oh, but these are always the same. He's always saying it's a few bad apples." But
you get bad apples in every single job.
Exactly,
every single job. Jesus Christ, you want to go into call center work? You'll never come across more evil people in your life than call center managers called Karen. With sort of people who are on utter power trips that are horrendous. But you're gonna get a few bad people in the police force. You're gonna get a few bad people in the fire, service. You're gonna get a few bad people working at McDonald's. You're gonna get a few bad people, working at your local supermarket. Yeah. They're all and everywhere. It's just a job that is more in the public eye because it deals with law and order. It deals with crime, and it deals with people adhering to the laws of the land. I think the vast majority of the riots that we had are actually a cause of the COVID being locked up for 3 months. People just letting loose. But I also think this whole Antifa business is literally a 4-year-old teddy tantrum that they didn't win the 2016 election. And it's just one big pissy hissy fit by a bunch of freaks.
Yeah. And it's affecting everything. The thing about it though is unfortunately, it's affecting everything. I mean, I've watched Gone with the Wind. I just want to bring it up because I've watched Gone with the Wind, right?
Yeah, I've watched. Virtually everyone's watched Gone with the Wind.
Now, I don't know about you, but it's a great film. Now, if there is racial stereotypes in that movie, that was a product of its time. I think Cheryl was telling me the actress actually in it won an Oscar. So, see, again, I think these people are looking in the wrong places.
There's panic. It's just headless chicken panic. By the way, hi chat. How you doing, folks? It's just headless chicken panic. They don't know what is racist and what isn't racist anymore. We are literally 3 steps away from Nazi Germany in the 30s. That is we're 3 steps away from that. The ridiculous nature of censorship, the ridiculous nature of wrong think. You must think a certain way. You must push a certain thing. It's happening. History is repeating itself.
Yes.
We're being told what to think. We're being told what we can say. We're being told what we can't say. We're being told that we're, as at the moment, we need to prostrate ourselves to these people. Fuck off. Go fuck yourself.
Here's one for you. What did you think of Sophie Turner's statement that white silence is what was it? What did she say? White silence is white violence.
Is white violence. Yeah, Sophie Turner is a stupid bitch. She's a stupid cow. She's an uneducated, probably dumb, entitled, rich, echo-chambered bitch. Right. That's who she is. How the fuck is not saying anything white violence? It's stupid. It's all these dumbass catchphrases that they're coming out with. She's there with her husband. They're sticking the signs up. They're making a day of it. They're having a good time, and then they're going to go back to the nice little rich millionaire's mansion where they don't ever have to worry about anything in their lives. Exactly. So they can afford to pick and choose. The boredom that they must have is extreme. That they have to find something to whinge and moan about, some cause, because their life has no meaning, because they play pretend. And so they have to find themselves causes because they're so detached from reality, because they don't live normal lives. As somebody who lives in a palatial millionaire's mansion, they don't have a normal life. They can never understand the struggle of not being able to have a meal of a night. They don't know the struggle of being out of work and never knowing when the next paycheck's coming from. They don't understand these things. And so they they're in the same circles. They're with like-minded people. They're with financially minded people. People with heavy incomes, and again, that don't have to worry about anything. And they're all saying the same thing. They're talking down to us as if we're children. They're talking down to us as if they're our betters. They are not better than you or I. They're not better than anyone in the audience. They're not better than a single solitary person. And then you have this whole white privilege nonsense going on, where people like Grant Gustin from The Flash talking about white privilege. Now, he might have had a nice rich family, and he might have had cozy opportunities that were afforded to him because of the money and the influence that his folks had. But I've had to earn everything in my life. I've had to scrape and scrimp and work and hustle to get everything that I've got today. I never had anything gifted to me. I'm from a single parent family, a poor single parent family. We couldn't afford luxuries. We couldn't do any of this. So every single thing, every single solitary thing that I have has been earned. And that would be the same story for the vast majority of people. They have no grasp on reality. They're clutching onto something to latch onto to give themselves some sort of meaning. And they're just silly, dumb, ignorant, rich people.
I know. I have to be honest. There's some celebrities that have come out and have been very smart and wise in the situation. And then we have seen a lot of dumbness. And of course, we never, Brie
what's happened to the ones who come up with commonsensical statements?
Yeah, they've been
attacked. They've been attacked. They've been cancelled. Half of them have decided to apologize because they want to continue to work.
I know.
So it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Apologize. We've actually had Matt Lucas and David Williams apologize for Little Britain. Probably one of the greatest shows that came out of that country. No offense.
It was the this country. It was the biggest comedy at the time. It was the biggest comedy show at the time. It was the most watched show. Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
We loved it because it was about Britain.
Yes.
We loved it because it did address every aspect. Nobody was safe from ridicule, and that was the beauty of it. It didn't just poke fun at poor people. It didn't poke fun at people of color. What it did is it poked fun at everybody: rich, poor, black, white.
Yeah.
Your socio-economic or your ethnic background meant nothing, and all the comedy was. It was funny. It wasn't vindictive. It wasn't nasty. It wasn't made in bad faith.
No.
It was just legitimately funny humor. And the fact that one of the characters put on a big fat black suit had nothing really to do with the color. That was just the character that they wanted to do.
Exactly.
In actual fact, that character was a very rich person. So it wasn't as if they were saying that, let's have a laugh at the poor black person. No, this was a rich person who was living in opulence, who was the comedy really came from the fat suit, and the fat suit getting the towels always getting ripped off, and then the fat suit underneath.
Yeah.
That was where the comedy really came from there, and this sort of, but that character was unashamed when they were naked. They were completely unashamed of it. It was good.
That show poked fun at everything. So what's going to happen here is because of the madness that's going on, shows like Little Britain, you're going to have the creator. Do I think they should have come out and apologized? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because the way you've described it is exactly what us at the audience at the time were watching it as. It wasn't a race. And this is where I think we're going to get where these people are going to get a bit crazy. What are they going to judge as being racist now that we can't watch anymore? For example, right, I'll twist it, I'll flip it another way. What about the movie Schindler's List? Should we cancel that movie now? Because that show...
I'll flip it an easier way for you. I'll flip it. The Tardis is a police box.
Right.
We know what the BBC are like.
Yeah,
we know their pandering nature. We know their partisan politics.
Oh, no.
This is This is now a problematic monument.
Well,
so what are the BBC going to do? Are we going to find that the chameleon circuit gets suddenly fixed?
Oh, I never thought of that. And the only thing I was thinking of was the fact that Joe Martin was going to be cast now because of all of this madness. But now that you bring up why did you do that? You're right.
It's because this is current day. It's full of idiots. It's full of virtue signaling idiots.
Right,
we're living in a time where people want to destroy everything. They want to destroy our culture. They don't want to understand how we developed. They don't want to understand how we have evolved and changed. They want to tear everything down. Everything.
No
Stop
way.
saying garbage. You keep me looking up at the TV.
I never you know what, until you just brought that up now and you're spot on. Oh, we got a load of super chats. Hold on. So Garbage sent me one. I think that's the fourth super chat there. He says, evening guys, thanks for all you do. Stop saying garbage. You keep me looking up at the TV and you're calling me. Yeah. Yeah, well, everything.
I'll try and say trash or something from there.
Yeah, everything is garbage right now. But look, the people are losing. South Park will be next. Chris Martin just put that up there. Is it Chris Martin?
They've tried many times with South Park.
Yeah,
it all depends on
Trey Parker.
Whether or not Trey Parker and Matt Stone decide to...
Well, they actually give a fuck, really. Let's be honest. I don't think they do. Rebecca Gold says, Noel, well done for getting us on. He's a legend. Yeah, he is. He is. We love his YouTube videos. I have to say that I'm not messing. If we're a bit down because of the lockdown, we put on one of your videos because you're always guaranteed to do bloody something funny. I love it. I love it. Problem being with a £2 super chat says hashtag rich celebrities matter. Nah, only hashtag daddy matters. Oh, I tell you, this madness better end soon. Because look, they'll probably tiger Back to the Future next as well. Back to the Future 3. Remember that was set up in the Wild West because.
Well, I mean, some imagery which has been going around amongst our circles has been Klingons from the 1960s Star Wars, and Klingons, of course, were essentially black-faced in the 1960s original series.
Well,
so are they next?
You know,
if somebody doesn't come out and just put a fucking I can't even say that. I was going to say put a foot on a neck, but I can't say that. If somebody doesn't come out and put a leash on something, then this is going to go out of hand. This is going to get so out of hand, it's crazy. But HBO went and projected. They pulled down Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
What happens? People go to Amazon. Gone with the Wind is now the bestseller on Amazon.
Brilliant. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant. And that's the way to show that we're, while we do believe there is an issue, and nobody is denying that there is an issue, but the thing about it is,
it's a period piece. It's a period piece.
That's it.
It's set in that period, at that time, at that state of society. That's where it was.
Jodie Whittaker should actually change the name to Jodie Lover, because they actually do love Series 12. But he says, my father loves the BBC. Fair play to your dad. Not many people.
Everyone's got their faults, don't worry.
That's it. Problem being when another one says hashtag cancel white chicks. Oh yeah, that movie is absolutely hilarious. And why should they cancel it? It was funny. 2 black guys dressing as 2 white chicks. It was brilliant. What
about Eddie Murphy in when he did all the roles in various films? He put on whiteface.
Yeah.
Are we going to be this petty?
No. Because
you can't say that because we're not the people who are making the decision.
Well, that's true. We're not petty because we could see it for what it is: entertainment. It's not anything racially motivated. This is
when does Blazing Saddles get cancelled?
Oh, gee, yeah.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
Exactly.
A movie which actually ridiculed the nature of racism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just you wait, Lenny Henry, Lenny Henry. This is the ridiculous nature of it all. It's so pathetic because people back in theater days, you would even in recent history in theater, you would have white people playing Othello because they wanted to play the character of Othello. It wasn't about assimilating black culture. It was about playing a Shakespearean character. But now you can't do that because you would have to blackface to play Othello if you're a white actor. But this is the kind of situation that we're in.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between, let's say, doing Othello and doing the black and white minstrel show. A colossal difference, because one is essentially sort of ridiculing an aspect of culture, while one is actually celebrating an aspect of culture with Shakespeare and the Shakespearean writing and the character of Othello, which is such a powerful character. So we are in a situation now where we're probably going to see all kinds of stuff get pulled, get warnings placed before them. Warning, before viewing this film, please be aware it does contain imagery that was a product of its time and does not in any way, shape, or form.
You don't even need a disclaimer, though. These idiots that are actually project, why don't you just not watch the stuff?
No, you do need a disclaimer because you are a vegetable. You're not treated like a person anymore.
Yeah.
These companies, these corporations, we're numbers to them. We're not names. They think we're drooling idiots that will consume anything that's thrown at us. That's why when they put out shite in the film in the cinemas and people don't go watch it, they're there scratching their heads going, well, why didn't they go? Oh, well, they must just be racist or they must just be bigoted. And they don't actually truly understand that maybe, just maybe, your film was shit.
Well, I mean, they did. If you remember, I don't know if anybody remembers the Disney movie Song of the South. It was, I don't know.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Now it was banned in America, but you could watch it in Europe. And if people want to go on about stereotypes and stuff and racism, they're the type of movies that you look at. But even I look at it and I say, well, that was a product of its time. Were they trying to be racist? See, this is the thing. I don't think these companies, I don't think none of this is racially motivated. It's just a product of its time. I think
none of this is racially motivated. Yeah, this is all greed. This is about greed. This is about if we pander to this, we believe that this is the audience. Yeah. And it's not their audience. Their audience are just regular, normal human beings who can easily understand what came when in time. Zulu, I love Zulu as a film.
Great
it's a great movie. Yeah. It's a movie about a small band of British troops up against a massive Zulu army, and they prevail. But of course, when you watched it as a child, you were looking at it as this small band coming up against tremendous odds. Yes, they had guns. Yes, the Zulus didn't have guns, but they had vastly superior numbers. Yeah. There was 100 British, and I think something ridiculous like 10,000 Zulus. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But now, of course, it would be interpreted as disgusting British colonialism, who were assimilating black culture and murdering indigenous, indigenous. I don't know. I was going to say species, but it's not indigenous population. Indigenous population. Yeah. Which, in essence it was, but that isn't the story that it was trying to tell. It was a story about, bravery. It's a story about up against the odds. It was a story about the most Victoria Crosses that were given out in any specific time.
That's what it was about. And I think that's where the snowflakes, as I'm going to call them, that's where you need to realize. I mean, not everything, there are some things that have been made by people that they regret. Fair enough.
Well, even the Zulus gave them respect at the end when they pulled out. When they realized they were not going to get through, they pulled out and they actually left their leaders to leave last, which was a sign of respect against. So it was essentially two armies clashing. One army being superior in numbers, one army being superior in firepower, and then the tactics of the British overcoming the tactics of the Zulu warriors, and at the end the Zulu warriors leaving, giving the British their respect for their fight. But this was these are all films that are going to get eventually cold if we don't get a grip of these fucking freaks.
If you have a few quid in your pocket, I'd go out and start buying physical copies where possible. Obviously, I know some countries are still in lockdown, but I would actually recommend before they start editing all of these, because they already tried it with Back to the Future. Remember Netflix? Edited Back to the Future, the ooh la la scene, the scene where he thinks he has the sports almanac, and then it turns out it's actually the dirty magazine. Well, they edited out. They edited some of that footage out because apparently it was offensive. Of course, then there was a big backlash, and then they reinstated the original copy. But this is the kind of madness. It has been slowly happening. With this situation now, you can guarantee that it's going to be accelerated. And a crazy cap guy says with a £5 super or $5 super chat says, Series 13 highlight. The Tardis chameleon circuit is finally repaired and the plasmic shell is transformed into a statue of Stalin. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Jesus Christ. Bad Wolf 66 says, hashtag take back the planet Earth. Yeah, I think we just need to take back. Everybody's just gone insane. All the lunatics are running riot right now.
Well, I do think a fair amount of the obscene lunacy is down to the COVID and people needing to get back to work, get back to normality.
That's what it is, though. It's cabin fever. Everybody's suffering from a little bit of cabin fever, and everybody's lost the plot a little bit. I just wish people come to their senses before it's too late, because to be honest with you, you aren't dealing with the issue at hand, right? Getting rid of movies because they're somehow offensive or racist is not going to sort out the issue that we have at hand. And remember, as I said yesterday, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm not disrespecting any American out there, but I just want to say, you're so arrogant to think that racism is just exclusive to the United States of America. It's not. It's rife around the world. Look at Russia, the way they treat the LGBTQ plus community, right? Countries like that, right? There's racism happening even in my country, in Ireland. We've seen it as well in the Premier League. It's been highlighted in England as well. High-profile games. We've seen on camera a Manchester City fan doing a monkey chant at a Manchester United black player. It is happening, right? It does need to be sorted. But the problem is everybody is projecting all over the place and they're not actually dealing with the issue at hand. Hashtags are not good. Another thing as well, right? I got attacked because I don't use a certain hashtag out there, right? I'm just going to say one thing to all you fools out there that do anyway. Hashtags are not going to solve the problem, right? Hashtags are not going to solve the issue at hand.
No, but it's gonna make Deborah in Basingstoke feel better about herself.
Yeah. Well,
racism exists. Of course, it exists. Every negative aspect of society still exists.
Yes,
but racism is probably at its lowest it's ever been.
I agree.
In terms of just regular people getting on in the world, and it's being up until 2016 in America, you had a small pocket of white supremacists that was probably totaling by the FBI numbers to be around something like 3,000 white supremacists who identified as Nazis in America.
Wow.
Since 2016, since the naughty orange man got into power, suddenly it's 50% of America, according to these people have gone absolutely mental.
I know.
And they're tarring everybody with the same brush. There's like some people pushing around on Twitter today. They're pushing around all whites are Nazis. Pushing around these we know that we are in clown world. I call it clown world. We know that we're in absolute clown world when people are just doing this for attention. They're doing it for clicks. They're doing it for clout. They're doing it so they can get some sort of attention on the internet. And do they believe what they're saying? Of course they don't.
Can I ask?
Of course they don't. It's craziness.
Question to you all and yourself. Is this, and I'll probably be criticized for this, but I'm going to say it anyway because you know me, I don't give a flying fuck anyway. This is my channel. I'll talk about what I want to talk about anyway, and I'll say what I want to say. But here it is. Is this reverse racism?
Well, no, it's racism.
It's just racism.
It's just racism. There's no such thing as reverse racism because reverse racism insinuates that racism can only come from one side. Racism can come from every side.
Right.
A black person can be racist against other colors.
Yeah.
This is just racism.
Right.
It's not reverse racism. It's just what some people call it to try and differentiate between what they class as white racism and non-white racism.
I get you.
It's just racism. That's all it is.
Because I do feel like I have to be honest. For the first time in my life, I have to be honest. I'm like,
But I don't even know if it is racism though. I think it's more of a control and power aspect.
Right.
I think it's, look, when you've got the chief of fucking police, when you've got the fire chief bending on one knee, fucking washing somebody's feet. That's not got anything to do with racism. That's got everything to do with control and power.
Yeah.
And controlling people and feeling superior to people and feeling as if you've got some sort of hold over them.
Yeah, of course.
That's what that's got to do with.
Only powerful in themselves, like.
Yeah, we have somebody's Carla. Oh well, it said it's victimhood. Yeah, we have this incredible victim narrative, and I've said many times on streams, and I've said many times in videos.
Yeah,
people are literally fighting for their right to be a victim, and this is what we're seeing right now. People are rioting and out there destroying stuff and putting stuff down, fighting for their right to be a victim. I am fighting for my right to be victimized. I am fighting for my right to be looked at as a victim, so I can be, I don't know, pitied. I don't know what you want to get out of this, but when you're constantly a victim, then it means that you're always, when I say right, it means that you're always trying to make yourself insusceptible to criticism, and it also makes that yourself not prone to any sort of blowback, because I am this, therefore you can't touch me. I am that, therefore you can't touch me. I represent this, therefore I am beyond reproach. And this is what they're all doing. It's craziness. Absolutely craziness. And what they're doing is they're using these insane white people who allow themselves to be chained up, who are allowing themselves to say, I'm sorry, who are on Twitter with their the celebrities saying, I take responsibility.
Yeah.
This is, and they're using those people, their white guilt, to feed their narcissism.
Yeah.
To feed the desire for attention.
I think the most disturbing image I have seen on Twitter has to be the mother that put a picture of her daughter up. Her daughter might have been around 3 or 4 years of age. Well, a bit older, maybe 5 or 6 if I'm generous. And holding up, this is a poster that says, well, this is what white privilege looks like, and has the kid taking the knee. And I called it for what it was, child abuse. Because that's exactly what it is. Why should their children as well be held responsible for mistakes that were made in the past anyway?
They're not. They are abusing their child. It is child abuse.
It is.
They're using their child as a token.
Yeah.
As a token, as a board, as some sort of message board. If I was a parent, I'm not a parent, so but if I was a parent, I'd fucking knock them fucker out. The parent that did that. It's the most disgusting thing that you can do. One of the most disgusting things. You want to tokenize your children. You want to use your children as currency.
Yeah.
You filth. You've got to be a special kind of filth to do that.
Exactly. I agree with you. I was really annoyed about that. This is what I'm saying. It's getting out of hand. Where does this stop? I mean, and when does this stop? Does it stop when all these officers are locked up? No, I don't know. I think now we're on a path, and I don't think it's gonna end anytime soon. This madness is just gonna get worse, and it'll be.
This is why you got to vote with your wallets, folks. This is why you got to vote for your wallet.
Yeah.
Every company that comes out and says, I support these fucking terrorists, which they're essentially doing, don't buy their products.
Here's the thing,
every movie that comes out with some bullshit fucking unit, I can't say that. Fuck off.
Here's the thing, though. Do you know the way we all know now that television, the face of television's changed now? It's a streaming's kind of war going on, right? All these different streaming companies. You know, so HBO Max have already showed that they're willing to bow. We've already seen Netflix are willing to bow. Now, they did reverse their decision, but we do know that this kind of stuff is happening in the editing of movies. So, I don't know. Maybe I was thinking, and I'm just saying, you say talk with your wallet, right? So that's fair enough. When you buy these services, right? So you're obviously signing up for these services and you're paying for them. You pay for them because you expect a certain level of service. So if they start editing movies that you obviously know that are edited, well, they're not giving you the service that they're supposed to be providing. So should people, and I'm not going to actually tell people to do this, but would people not be better off cancelling their subscriptions to send a message to these streaming services that this kind of behavior, this kind of what you call a censorship, is not going to be, it's not going to fly with the odd, because we're the ones that are essentially paying for this television. You know, without us, obviously they wouldn't have a service. So should we, as you said, fight with our wallets and basically say, right, well, we're not renewing our subscription until you guarantee that every...
Well, the Netflix thing seemed to be a they're trying some sort of parental thing,
right?
So kids can watch certain things which might be deemed as not suitable for children. Yeah. So they have the little. So it seemed like something like that clicked in with Back to the Future,
right?
But as regards to something like HBO Max that made a conscious decision to pull Gone with the Wind, then fuck yeah, cancel your subscription to HBO Max. Fuck them. Who the fuck is HBO Max to tell you what films you can and can't watch and in what format you can and can't watch them?
Yeah.
You are a platform. You are nothing more than a platform. Put the movies up and shut the fuck up. And if you don't want a movie on your platform, then don't put it on the platform. But there was nothing wrong with Gone with the Wind 2 days ago. And there was nothing wrong with Gone with the Wind 2 weeks ago, and 2 years ago, and 2 decades ago. But now there's a fucking problem with Gone with the Wind today. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly.
It's projection by scared, office-based freaking weirdos that don't know which way to turn because they're so paranoid that they're going to be the next targets of the terrorist fucking mob. They're going to be the next on the cancellation list.
All it'll take, though, is one of these streaming companies to actually just go against the grain and not actually bow to any pressure. And then it'd probably give the others then a bit of steam and say, right, well, they're at the doing it. Okay, they're getting a bit of backlash, but look at their streaming services doing well. I think that's what would, and as you said yourself, everybody went
backlash for what? Backlash for what? Backlash for what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you've got a point. Yeah, there should be no backlash. There's these movies. You're right. I mean, Gone with the Wind is out decades and nobody had a problem with it, and now all of a sudden it's a problem.
Gone with the Wind is what, 1937?
Yeah, it's that old. Yeah.
So we're talking 73 years or so.
Yeah, and now it's a problem.
And now, yesterday, it became a problem. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They'll be
lunacy.
Yeah.
Madness.
All the lunatics have left the asylum and are running free, guys. That's what's happened. And you know what? The thing about it is, why do we turn to entertainment? We turn to entertainment to get away from the daily struggles of life and stuff, just for that hour and a half, whatever, how many hours you watch TV. We're transported to wherever that show that we're watching, and we can forget about our worries. Now we watch TV, movies, and now it's just as bad as real life. And
entertainment represented escapism. Yeah. That's what entertainment represented.
Not anymore.
You would go to watch a superhero movie, so for 2 hours, you would play your power fantasy. You would see big muscular Thor twatting the bad guys, getting the girl, and you were living a 2-hour fantasy of being a superhero and wooing the gorgeous damsel. This is what we've had for generations. We've had this sort of escapism fantasy. Comics are the same. You play out your power fantasies. We have things like Warhammer, very violent tabletop gaming where we can live out this crazy, dystopian futures. Yada, 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 whatever it may be. Disney, princesses, girls feeling special, feeling as if they're one of a kind, as if, all the guys, all the hunky dudes are after them, blah, blah, blah. All that sort of stuff. Everyone has their own fantasies.
Yeah.
We now have a bunch of degenerate filth who have infiltrated these fandoms and are just like, oh, we're in these fandoms, but we don't like this. We're going to change it. So unfortunately, you can't have your big hulky superhero guy anymore. No, he's now going to have to be subservient to the strong, independent woman instead. And so we're having all of our entertainment, we're having all of our escapism taken away from us, and the mundane of reality is becoming our escapism. So we're moving from the mundane to the mundane, and we're not getting the escapism, we're not getting the release, we're not getting to experience the fantasies that we can experience anymore because of these fucking weirdo freaks. So, in the terms of the comic industry, if you put me in charge of DC today, I'd fucking cull. I'd be going around like a fucking guy with a fucking stick and a seal. I'd be culling the shit out of people. You, fuck off. You, fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. I'd be kicking people out left, right, and center. Right. I want artists who draw buff dudes and sexy ladies. I want this to be it's a visual format. I want them to look attractive. I want writers who are interested in apolitical topics for the most part. I don't mind a bit of politics here or there. That's fine. But for the most part, apolitical stuff, hero stuff, hero's journey stuff, regular trials, tribulations, overcoming them, etc.
Exactly.
That is what I want. But these fuckers, they've all come in and it's like, oh no, you can't have that. You can't have that. What you got to have now is your soy-based, fucking limp-wristed weirdo heroes who are completely ineffectual. By the way, these are the ones that you've loved for 6 decades, 8 decades. Now we're going to just turn them into soy pussy boys. And now we're going to push our characters who are just absolutely one-dimensional fucking morons because they can't write. They've got no idea of heroicism. They've got no idea about what self-sacrifice is, what selflessness is. They have no idea. This is why you get a show like Batwoman, where the inverted commas hero is actually a villain, a selfish, self-centered, narcissistical, murdering villain, because they don't understand what a hero is. They've just infiltrated the fandom and said, hey, let's change this all to how we want it to be.
Man, no, I agree with everything. Listen, man, I've been like you. I've been saying this for a couple of years now, and a lot of us in this fandom have been actually saying it, and we're blue in the face. Listen, look, I just want to be entertained, and you are right. We don't mind a bit of politics in their shows once it doesn't. See what's happened. I'll go back to Doctor Who's the perfect example for me anyway, because being a Doctor Who fan, and you're a Doctor Who fan as well, as far as
big time,
I'm a huge fan. But the thing about you look at Doctor Who, right? Doctor Who is the perfect example when you pander to a vocal minority on Twitter, and then they produce.
No. You've got it wrong. The BBC isn't pandering to anybody. The BBC is implementing its own politics regardless.
Right. Okay. Right.
So they're not looking at a segment of people and saying, right, we're going to pander to them.
Yeah.
The people are already in the BBC. And they're just like, this is how we're going to do things. like it or not.
Yeah.
So they don't care about the audience. They don't care about who's going to like it and who isn't going to like it. This is just the way it's going to be. Because they have a racist, bigoted policy now in effect in the BBC with its inclusion and diversity policy, which is a racist policy within itself. And hires on color and gender and doesn't hire on talent.
Exactly. So look at Doctor Who Series 12 compared to
I'd rather we didn't.
All of the sectors, including Series 11. But if you look at Series 12 in particular, right, you can see that diversity, inclusion strategy at play completely. And on top of that, then he added all the politics as well.
But the Doctor Who's always been inclusive.
Yeah,
it's always had representation from everywhere.
I know.
It's just that this bunch of people, they're crap.
Yeah,
they're crap. Yaz is shite.
What does
the actress is shite.
She doesn't.
I don't know. What's the guy called?
Tolson Cole.
Tolson Cole. What's his character called?
Ryan. He has a disability.
Ryan. Fuck my ass. That guy is an absolute fucking chocolate fireguard. He's useless. You put him in front of fire, he melts. He's absolutely useless. Doesn't do anything. Graham has just been turned into a joke.
Yeah.
He's just been turned into literally a pun machine. And the Doctor's the worst offender of them all. Because that is somebody who doesn't even like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Who hasn't been interested whatsoever in looking into the roots and the history of Doctor Who. And is just cosplaying something that they think will resemble the Doctor.
Yeah, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. And you know what? This is why I would have had a lot of respect for her, right? When she was told by Chris Chibnall not to watch any Doctor Who, right? If she had come out and actually said this in interview as well, when he said that, I thought, well, maybe Chris, I should. And I did. Then fans would have been less critical. But she didn't. She openly came out, well, he told me not to watch, so I didn't watch, blah, blah.
No, she said she started watching, but said she didn't get anything out of it, so she stopped watching. And I can understand the concept of developing your own Doctor.
Yeah.
But she didn't develop a Doctor.
No, she didn't.
She does this quasi impression of Matt Smith and David Tennant.
Yeah.
There's no originality in a Doctor. I don't see her Doctor and say, oh, well, actually, there is one outstanding feature of her Doctor, which I'll say in a moment. But when I see her Doctor, I don't see, that's a great take on the Doctor. I see, that's Jodie Whittaker because it's shite. Yeah. That's the only thing that I know with Jodie Whittaker, whereas Capaldi had a very specific Doctor. Matt Smith had a very specific Doctor. David Tennant, a very specific Doctor. And Christopher Eccleston, a very specific Doctor. Just going into the New Who era. And Whittaker literally looks like a cosplayer.
Yeah.
Just looks like a cosplayer.
She's the biggest problem I have for her as well is and this is the reason why we got so many companions, is she absolutely has no screen presence whatsoever. Listen, it's not her fault that she was cast in a role that's way over her head, but
have the good grace to leave then.
But in fairness, that's what I was going to say. After the first season, she should have left. I'm being honest. I know people would have been on her side, that follow her and love her, would have been upset. I don't care. Listen, Tom Baker said it. If it doesn't work, you fire her, right? It didn't work. She has to be fired. It's as simple as that. And Chris Chibnall needs to go. But not only Chris Chibnall, his whole writing team, the whole lot of that Doctor Who magazine, all the way down to the Time team.
But they won't, because Chris Chibnall symbolizes the partisan politics of the BBC.
Yeah. Yeah.
According to the BBC, he's the perfect man for the job.
Well,
we just had it today with The Last of Us and Neil Druckmann.
Oh yeah.
He was being interviewed a couple of days ago by a magazine trying to push The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And he's trying to spin the criticism of the story leaks
Wow.
on that people are being bigoted towards Ellie being gay, whereas that is not why people have been critical of the story. But this is the victimhood narrative that they will always play. This is the manipulative nature that will always play. So we are seeing the same with Chibnall. Chibnall and Whittaker, they will see this as their hill to die on. That's what they'll see this as, because the BBC would be patting them on the back going, you go, you keep doing this. Yeah. You keep spreading the message. It's all about the message. We've got goddamn BBC news people giving their own fucking opinions now. Stop it. You are the BBC. You are representative of the British public. Yeah, exactly. You're meant to be calling it down the middle. This is not a partisan news program like America has. This is why we had the BBC.
No,
so this is why I've refused to pay my license anymore.
Yeah, no, you're right. BBC shouldn't be taking sides in any argument. Actually, that should go for the same for every news agency out there. Unfortunately, it doesn't have, but BBC should be. Any news agency, especially if you're doing news or media, it should be neutral. Doctor Who, especially Classic Who, was very good at that. If they had a political message or they had something to tell, an important message to tell its audience, they always gave you a balanced view on that issue. Now with Doctor Who, it's like being hit across the head with a hammer. It's just constant one side. I mean, we've got this whole thing, Jordan Series 11, where it was white males bad. In Series 12, okay, he managed to make he actually managed to make single mothers bad with that whole time, this children's story arc, which is disgusting, which I'm surprised not many people have spoken about. I mean, the multiple murder and experimentation of a child is the story arc that Chris Chibnall thought was suitable for Doctor Who and its audience. That's how the Time Lords came about, by the way. The multiple murder and experimentation of a child.
But it was worse because Tek Tayoun was heralded as a master genius.
Yeah.
The person who murdered child after child after child after child after child to crack the code of regeneration was actually revered as a scientist because we need more women in STEM.
Yeah,
I guess.
I have to say, though, I loved your video on it. It was fantastic, but spot on.
So important that not a single solitary one of those people had one single solitary line.
I know. You're spot on. It was just, look, it was box ticking, and I don't care. Listen, people get criticized for saying that, using that term, but that's what it is. He box ticks Chris Chibnall. He doesn't actually respect any of these characters. He has a mandate, and as has rightly pointed out, BBC have that same mandate, and he is the perfect man for it, because Series 11, if you look at it, was the perfect piece of propaganda. If you were to look at it from the other side, it was a perfect piece of propaganda.
But this is where forced diversity is exposed as racism.
Yeah.
Because you are only hiring somebody based off their color, or you're only hiring somebody based off their gender. And that is bigotry, and that is racism in its exact form. And that's why things like the inclusion and diversity policy is a racist, bigoted policy.
Yeah, spot on.
And it's all done in the name of progressiveness.
Yeah. Listen, if you're not hiring on talent alone and giving the role to the best person possible, you're absolutely spot on. That's exactly what it is. And this is why we have a problem. We don't have a problem with people of different skin color or different nationalities taking roles. It's the fact that when these characters are introduced, there is no proper character arc for them, and they're killed off almost immediately. I mean, there's
let's take current Who. Right, what is Ryan's story arc? He had dyspraxia, and then it went in the next episode.
Yeah. And his father abandoned him. We just want to throw that one in as well.
That's not an arc, though. What's his arc? There's no arc. There's no
Well,
story.
there is none, you're right.
There's
He's
nothing with him.
ability, but it doesn't actually feature
What's
that.
Yaz's arc?
He was a cop, apparently, but
no, that's not an arc. That's a job. That's not an arc. What's her arc?
Well,
what's a story? What's a journey? There's none. What's Graham's arc?
None. Well,
none. There's no story. There's no fucking arc with any of these. There's no arc with any of these characters. They are literally props.
Yeah, and even though the Doctor has 50-odd years of history behind it, even Jodie Whittaker's Doctor has not. If you look at her from Series 11 to the end of Series 12, her character has not moved. It has stood still. There is no character development whatsoever with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. And that is why a lot of us have not warmed to listen. Everybody will tell you, every Doctor Who fan will tell you, right? When a new Doctor comes on the screen, right, it's either by the end of the story or maybe one or two stories in, and then you're convinced that that person is the Doctor. We've had 2 seasons of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, and she still isn't the Doctor.
No. She's never had a moment.
No.
She's never had a period where she's stood out as the Doctor. There's never been anything that says to the audience, I am the Doctor, I am in charge. Exactly. In actual fact, it's had the reverse.
Yeah.
When Graham was talking about his fear of cancer coming back. And this is something which is very dear to me because I was diagnosed with cancer 15 odd years ago. And I've come through, thankfully. But I was always told it will come back at some point in your life. Yeah. So it's, to me, it's been like a waiting game of when it will return. So something like that is important to people, especially, and I'm talking about not myself, but I'm talking cancer survivors. You know, people have been through the real rigmarole. People have been through the chemos and all that. And he's saying, I fear it coming back. Yeah. And then you've got the Doctor just going,
I know I'm supposed to say
something. I should say something encouraging, but I'm so the awkward.
Jordan right now
and walking away to the console, and it's just like that is everything the Doctor isn't.
Yeah.
That is everything that the Doctor does not stand for. Chibnall at that very moment showed how little he knows about anything Doctor Who related.
Yeah, right, spot on, because there's right. As a Whovian or a Doctor Who fan, whatever you want to call yourself, that they are the moments that we associate with the Doctor. When the Doctor is really needed, when someone really needs the Doctor always has the right thing to say or does the right thing. They don't happen too often, those moments, but when they do, the Doctor is always spot on with their response. That response from Jodie Whittaker, and again, like yourself, me personally, I haven't had it, but I've had family members that have died of it, and family members that have survived cancer, and I thought that was totally disgusting. But what was more disgusting was BBC's response.
Yes, the cowardice response by them,
and that was even worse because then that did turn a lot of fans, even on the other side, I have to be honest now, a lot of the other side thought it was disrespectful. Of course, you did have a few that tried to justify it. There is no justification for that. That was a poorly written scene, and Jodie Whittaker does get some of the blame for this because as an actress herself, and she's acted in a lot of things, there's no way that when she read her lines and read the lines that were going to be said to her, that she didn't think that there was something wrong with that response.
No, we've seen David Tennant talk to the producers about the lines, about how he's delivered them, in what manner it's been done. We see this all the time with actors talking about, how they weren't happy saying something, how they wanted to have something changed, how it didn't suit the character, all kinds of different programs. Well, Whittaker and they're on the same page. Those two.
She's just willing to do whatever he asks her to do.
Look, they wanted a laugh. They thought that was comedy. This is how twisted their fucking brains are.
Yeah.
They thought that was comedy. They thought that was going to be like a ha 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 moment.
Well, it's not a ha 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 moment.
Oh, she's so whimsical. Ha 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 ha. No, you're a piece of fucking trash, bitch. That's what you are.
If that was me in Graham O'Brien's position and I was on the TARDIS with that doctor and that was the response,
I would have got off.
She wouldn't got off. I'm being honest, she wouldn't be standing beside that console anymore.
No, I wouldn't do anything like that. I would just leave. I'd leave. I'd be like, cheers, thanks, goodbye.
No,
hope you fucking get killed and regenerate soon into somebody who's actually nice.
Grab her, yeah, and I throw her out there, make sure we're in space, and I just throw her out the TARDIS door and force her to regenerate and say, why do I regenerate? And think of all the nasty shit you did the past 2 years and change yourself. I don't know, seriously, her doctor annoys me. But look, the main culprit here is Chris Chibnall and the BBC. And until the BBC change, now you have legally, and I want to bring this up because maybe you'll be able to explain to people how to legally cancel or end their TV license. You didn't you? You actually rang them up and you actually got it sorted. You do not have a TV license anymore.
No, I have an exemption. I have a 2-year exemption. It will be looked at again in 2 years' time. I'm just going to get out I'll tell you one thing though, building up to this, when I find the right paperwork.
Right.
Here it is. When my TV license was valid until the end of March of this year.
Right.
Okay. And I had paid up until the end of March of this year. Also, if you don't know, the BBC give you 30 days grace as well. Right. So technically, it wasn't going to be out of validation until the end of April.
Yeah.
But from the moment I cancelled my TV, from the moment I cancelled my direct debit, because I received an email from the BBC saying, this was in 2019, February of 2019, saying, oh, hi, you're paid up now until end of March 2020. So I said to myself, why the fuck am I paying a year in advance for my TV license?
Yeah.
So I cancelled my direct debit. Okay. So I cancelled my direct debit, and I swear to God, within about 2 days of cancelling the direct debit, my phone went off. Picked up the phone. Oh, hi there. It's such and such from the TV licensing people. We see that you've cancelled your direct debit for the BBC. Could you? Is there any particular reason? Is it a mistake? Are you shifting banks? And I was like, no, I am paid up until the end of March 2020. I've received the email from you. Why am I paying a year in advance? I don't want to pay a year in advance. I'll pay nearer the time. So he was just like, and then he got really shirty with me. He was just like, oh, well, you got to have it set up. You got to have a valid license. If you don't have it set up, then I was like, no, whoa. I was like, listen to me. I have. And it was like, no, you listen to me. When somebody does that to me, you're going to get the fucking horns. So I went, shut up, you little fuck. I said, this license is valid until the end of March. And he was trying to shout over me. So I just fucking hung up on the little cunt. So anyway, about a week and a half later, it's like, how dare you? About a week and a half later, get a fucking letter in the post from the license fee people. We have made an adjustment on your license, your television license, and it now runs out November 2019. Right. And I was just like, fuck off. I was just like, fuck off. I've paid until the end of 2020. So March 2020. So fuck off. So anyway, I don't do anything. I don't call them. I don't respond to it. November comes around. Or maybe it was the end of October, actually, I think it was. Yeah, because it was November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, so I think it was 5 months they reduced it by. So end of October comes around and November comes around. And then I get a letter in the post almost immediately from the TV license people saying, you do not have a valid television license. If you do not pay your television license, then you will be subject to a £2,000 fine or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I did nothing. I did not respond to it at all.
Gosh, you didn't.
A few weeks later, another one. Oh, no. Yeah. Sorry. No, a few weeks later, another one comes in. A couple of weeks later. So we're probably around middle of November now.
Right.
Another one comes. You are without a TV license. If failure to, same letter. Red, nice red letters. You're in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Didn't respond to it.
Right.
I go out to the gym because I'm going to the gym, and I go out to the gym. I come back one day, about a week after that. There's a card through my letterbox. We came knocking on your door today, but no one was in. We will return.
Right.
And again, a couple of weeks after that, I was at the gym again. Came back, another card. We've come round to your property. You weren't in. You do not have a valid TV license. So I was like, right, I've had enough of this. Fuck these fucking wankers. So I call up now. I said, hi, got a card saying that you come round to my house because I don't have a TV license. Yes, sir. I do have a TV license. It says here it ran out at the end of November. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I said, I have an email right here with my license number saying that I'm paid up to the end of March. And I said, I can go through my bank account. I can show you every direct debit. I said, you continue to harass me and there's going to start to be some problems. Nothing. Okay. So, well, we'll look into that. Thank you.
Right.
Never get another letter from the BBC after that. Then I get a letter at the end of April saying, your TV license has now expired.
Right.
Because it's now properly expired.
Right.
You are now without an active TV license. So I was like, no, that's fair enough. So I don't know if I did it immediately, but I did it. I did it at some point. I think it's in May. But I called them up in May. I think I got another letter from the license. I think I left it and I got another letter saying you're without a license. So I called them up and I got through to some lovely lass. And I was just like, hi, I'm just calling up to say that I am no longer paying the TV license.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, is any particular reason? And I was like, yeah, I just don't watch the BBC anymore. I said, I barely watch terrestrial television. I get all my entertainment through streaming services, Netflix, YouTube, those kind of things. And she's like, yeah. And I said, and I'll be honest with you, I said, the last program that I watched was Doctor Who, and I was absolutely appalled by it. And so I said, that's the last thing that I want to watch on terrestrial television, to be honest with you. And she laughed. And she said, I'll be honest with you. She said, I just watch Netflix and YouTube myself. So I thought, oh, what a lovely sweetheart. So I said, yeah, I don't have any, and this is the important part, folks. Right. I don't have any TVs that are set up to receive a terrestrial signal in my house.
Right.
That's the important thing. So your television cannot be set up to receive a terrestrial signal.
Right.
So I said, I do have a TV in the front room, but it's simply plugged into my Xbox, which I use as a Blu-ray player. So she said, fine. So I got a letter a few days later, and no license needed confirmation. Valid from June 2020 to June 2022. This claim confirms that you're at this address and you don't need a television license. You must not watch or record programs as they're being shown on TV or live on an online TV service, or download or watch BBC programs on demand, including catch-up TV on the iPlayer.
That's fair enough.
So that's what you get. That's what you get sent in the post.
Well, that's fair enough. As you end up, as you said yourself, you end up with, if you do the if you watch online your stuff online, you'll end up watching most of that stuff anyway.
Well,
so,
Netflix has got all Doctor Who anyway.
Yeah, so in reality, you don't really need a TV license, but there is a way of doing it legally there. And if you are considering, because I know a lot of you were, there is a way of doing it. Obviously, Az doesn't take shit from something on nobody, and he was right. Do you know what? Your reaction to your bloke would have been the same. Mine would have been the same. Who the fuck do you think you were talking to?
Yeah,
you check yourself, yeah.
Yeah, you little fucking. You're just fucking little monkey, little organ grinder monkey. You just pick up the phone and say yes, hello, yes, hello. That's your job. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I've got a TV license. I can prove I've got a TV license. Don't tell me that you want me to pay you a year in advance because that's where you get your money from. Because if paying it a year in advance, obviously, you're committed.
Exactly.
You're overly committed. So fuck them.
The thing with the inspectors as well. Now tell me if this is true. I don't know, but I heard that if they do come onto your property, you can basically kick them back off because they're not supposed to be there.
Yes. Number one, TV license fans are a myth. They do not exist. They were just a myth created to scare people into getting the TV license. Right. There is no van that can determine what you're watching.
All right. So it's bullshit.
Now, if somebody comes onto your property from the TV license and knocks at your door and says, hello, we're from the TV license people, we'd like to have a look at you. You can say, I refuse you access to my property.
Yeah.
And that means all of your property, including your driveway, so they must retreat to the road, and that's as far as they're allowed on your property. Which isn't on your property. So you can just say that nice and politely. I refuse you access to any part of my property, and I ask you to leave my property now. And they have to, by law, retreat onto the public highway. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you want to flip them off, you can. I'm only messing. I hate TV license inspectors. Bad Wolf 66 with a £2 super chat says, very insightful tonight. Two minds are better than one. Well, I don't know. Yeah,
maybe half a mind each.
Brooklyn Gal also with a $4.99 super chat says, excellent live streams. Stock up on the physical media while you still can. And yeah, I would actually really recommend that. I mean, Cheryl is a fan of Friends, as you know, and obviously one of the co-creators came out and apologized that Friends didn't do enough. And I'm like, are you for real? And I wouldn't even mind. Cheryl has it all on streaming service. Some streaming service, she has it all free. But we bought all the. I just said,
that's bollocks anyway. Because number one, she said she only realised that she wasn't doing enough last year, and also I've been informed. I would have to check this, so take this with a pinch of salt. But I'm informed that on the special edition, the box set DVDs of Friends, she's being interviewed, and she says, "I got all kinds of people in." To interview for the roles of the characters, all different people from all different races, blah blah blah, and these were the 6 best people we got. So she did actually hire on a meritocracy. So she hired off merit, but it's not about merit anymore. It's about ticking a box.
Yeah. Here, listen. There's 215 watching. I never thought I'd actually say that on a live stream. Seriously, I normally
Good job.
30 or something, but yous are all here because of the main man himself, so I really appreciate it. But if any of you haven't subscribed to him, please do. He's worth checking out. Your videos are, I have to say, hilarious, but they're always on point. But I have to admit, my favorite videos are your Batwoman video. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about Batwoman, because obviously they Ruby Rose now has either been kicked to the curb, or this was a plan all along. Apparently there might have been a plan in place that she was always going to be replaced. You don't know. They've mentioned an actress now from what's the name of that bloody show?
Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale. Yeah. What are your initial thoughts if she is picked to take over? What would your thoughts be on it?
It doesn't matter who's going to take over. It doesn't matter. The show's dead. The show is absolutely dead in the water.
Right. So
it is without doubt the worst television show I've ever watched in my life. I'm gonna be doing a live stream soon with a bunch of special guests and we're going to be roundtabling the series. We're going to have a good laugh going back through the series.
Right.
But the show is garbage. It's written by talentless people.
Yeah.
It's run by a talentless person.
Yeah.
It's acted. You can see like some of the actors in the show could, they got range. They could do some decent stuff.
Right.
But the material that they've got to work with is beyond.
It's bad.
It's beyond pathetic. But Ruby Rose was the hottest of hot garbage. She was abysmal in the role, absolutely abysmal. But even though she was appalling, again, the material, even a great actress can't elevate that material.
Yeah,
it was just they had no clue. As I said earlier, she's literally a villain. She's a horrible, narcissistical, murdering villain.
Right.
And somehow and then we have to be told that people love her. We have to be told that she does good deeds. We never see any of them. We never see any of them in action. We just have to be told that she's the savior of the city. We have to be told that she's the one that gives people hope. But all we see her doing is being self-serving, is being absolutely horrific, is being narcissistical, is desperate for validation and attention, and how much vag she can crush. That's it.
I have to be honest, I tried after 1 year reviews, I said, feck it, why not? I'll give Batwoman a chance. Right? Dear. I think, no, I'm not messing. I'm not telling you a word of a lie. I got to the scene that we seen in the trailer where she discovers, obviously, the Batcave.
Yeah.
Like that, I'm sorry. I was already done at that point, but listen, I agree, and I watched Picard with Rabbi. We actually through Picard, which was bad as well. But I'm being honest, Batwoman, I agree with you. It's probably one of the worst shows that I've ever even attempted to watch, and I'm glad I didn't put myself through. So I just want to say congratulations to you, though, because I couldn't even get through past that scene. And you have actually set through the whole lot of this rubbish.
Yeah.
Assuming you're going to do when all this lockdown business and the other madness settles down, and if they do this series, if they do this second series, I'm assuming you're going to review it because it's going to be YouTube gold.
I don't know. I'll likely review the first episode of season 2.
You know what's going to happen, though, right?
But I know it's going to be a dumpster fire, and I'm going to go off, and people are going to be like, please keep watching it.
You will. That's what will happen. You'll watch the first episode, because I said the same thing about series 11 and 12 with Doctor. I'll watch the first episode. I've given it a chance, but then you just I don't know what it is, because it's so bad. You're just drawn to it, and you have to review it. You just have to. So you'll watch the first episode, and then you'll probably end up doing the whole lot. I wanted to ask you about Stargirl, though, because we're seriously thinking of watching it. Now, based on your first couple of reviews, I haven't seen your latest reviews if you've done any, but the first couple, they sounded pretty optimistic. Now, you still had a few problems with a few of the things that were going on in it, but there was a lot that you did like. Without giving too much away, has it improved? Is it worth a watch? Would you recommend people watch it and give it a chance, or is it's just mediocre? You're just reviewing it because it's not as bad, but like it's still, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, One thing that it's got going for it, it's on DC Universe, which is the streaming service.
Yeah.
So it's actually got a bit of a budget.
Yeah.
So it's got a bigger budget than something on the CW, even though it's showing on the CW.
Yeah. Just like the Swamp Thing did. That was
yeah. And the supporting cast is very good. It's got a good supporting cast. The villains have been very good as well. The kind of letdown is her character. Right. Because she's been given some excellent advice, and she just keeps ignoring it all.
Right.
And being, I know better.
She's not. So she's not basically picking up on the information that she's getting and actually.
No,
she's not willing to be taught anything. She's just basically. You said, like today's generation, very kind of arrogant, think they can do everything for themselves, sort of. Yeah, no.
But I mean, she's a likable character. She's not an unlikable character. She's a likable character. She's meant to be 15 in the show. She's 20 in real life, 21 in real life. But she's meant to be 15 in the show. So I try and say to myself, well, she's 15. She's impetuous. She's young. So I try and kind of like have that attitude towards her decision making, that she doesn't have the decision making process of a more mature adult. But the villains have been great. They have been a great little addition so far. They do come across as menacing. They do come across as a threat. The actors have been very well cast in those roles. Luke Wilson has been good as her stepfather. Amy Smart hasn't had too much to get her teeth into so far, but she's got a little bit of a story arc developing by the looks of it.
Yeah, she's a good
she isn't a murdering psychopath, which does help. Yeah. And she did lose a fight. She did lose a fight in episode 3, which resulted in somebody being killed.
Ooh.
So, but the thing is, though, at the end of the episode, when they could have nailed the episode by having her, learn, she just ignored all of the advice she was given and just went ahead and did her thing anyway.
But do you think, okay, I know you have a problem with that right now, but do you think maybe in Series 2, they might actually, because you say yourself, she is only supposed to be 15 in the show and she is only learning, so maybe this is early days for her, and she is being like a stroppy teenager. Don't listen to the adults when they give you a piece of advice. But then, and I get what you're saying. If someone did result in getting killed and she didn't listen, you think she would learn something there. But do you think that they maybe, they're developing?
That's where you get your growth of character from.
Yeah, true.
If you're constantly overriding everybody, there's no growth of character. Best.
You need those moments, don't you?
And if the show then vindicates her decision not to listen to sage advice, then the show looks stupid.
No, you're right, because you do, because we all make mistakes even as kids, and you either learn from them or you're stupid enough not to, and you keep making the same mistake over and over. No, you are actually right, yeah. So But
a hero's got to have an arc. A hero's got to have a journey, right? And she does need to be humbled a bit.
Yeah.
But I think it's just going to go ahead, and she's just going to recruit a bunch of super frenzies, and then they're going to go out and stop the crimesy wimesies.
So that's what you're afraid will happen. And if they don't go down that path, this show could end up being really successful then for.
Well, it was fun, but I mean, I got better things to do with my time. So if it goes down that avenue, then I could easily just say I'm good. I'll bow out. I'm good.
Can I
just go watch Thoris?
Yeah. I was going to ask you though, DC Universe, obviously that streaming service did have another show on it until they decided to cancel it, which was Swamp Thing. Now, I just want to give you a little bit of background, right? I knew absolutely nothing about it except for the cartoon that used to be on, right? I knew there was comics, but I never read them. Now, my impression of the show was, when I saw it, I'd never seen that like it before. I had elements of horror in it, voodoo, the murder. There was some epic scenes in it. Now, I do know, because I read a lot about it, that it was originally supposed to be a certain length, but they cut it short. I loved it. I just want to know what your opinion on it was, because I think it's a goddamn shame that show was cut short, because I think this would have been huge. I'm being honest. It really. I liked it. I don't know about you, but I did love it. I thought it was a great piece of TV. What did you?
I saw the trailer.
Right.
I thought the trailer looked great. I was really excited for the series.
Right.
Episode 1 came out, and I'm ready to watch it. And then as soon as episode 1 comes out, they announced that the series has been cancelled.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch it.
Oh.
So I said, why? I said, why should I watch this if it's got one season?
You know what? I was 3 episodes in until I realized, because I'd read nothing about it, and then I was googling it because it was so good. I was like, I have to Google this and see how this all came about. And I googled it. Swamp Thing cancelled after 1 series, and I was like, "Are you for it?" I thought personally it was good. It is a shame that you haven't decided to watch, because I really would love your opinion on it, because I mean that the very listen, there's a scene in it, I don't want to give it away, but obviously the reveal scene, you know, they have a reveal scene, and it's absolutely.
But it's just like, why invest myself in what's probably going to be a good show that's over?
You're right. I know. I get you, and it's sad. But if anybody from DC Universe is listening, I want season 2. Bring it back, please. I know CW bought the rights to show season 1.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well,
but,
yeah.
I thought they were actually getting the rights to do season 2, and my heart bloody dropped to the floor, because no, this has to be the way it was. Listen.
This is why Stargirl and Swamp Thing are going on the CW. They've got no shows.
Yeah.
Their shows are all failing.
Yeah.
They're absolutely failing. The Arrowverse is in tatters.
Yeah,
nobody's watching it anymore. It's garbage. It's woke trash. That's pandering to a fraction of people who actually watch this stuff. So they're desperate for eyes. Desperate. They have no good shows whatsoever.
Yeah.
So this is why they have to take the stuff in the DC universe now.
It's a shame. It's a shame, because Arrow, I know it started off well. I watched the first couple of seasons, but then I lost interest. I have to admit, I never watched The Flash. It just looked too, I don't know, there's something about CW shows, they just look too cheesy, and the special effects and the stunts, they just it just looks all too fair. I'm sorry, it's just not.
What I will say is Stargirl is at least holding her ratings way better than Batwoman.
Right.
Batwoman started with a 1.86 million, and by episode 4, it was down to 1.287. So it lost 600,000 people in 4 episodes. Whereas Stargirl started off with 1.2 million, and it's just holding on to around 1.1 million after 4 episodes. So it's kind of fluctuating between a loss of 1 and a loss of 200,000 in 4 episodes. So at least it's maintaining its audience a lot better than Batwoman was. And that is a sign of a better constructed show. And it is a better constructed show, but those ratings are terrible.
Yeah.
For the CW. You remember, The Flash, when it first started, was like 4 million, 5 million or something.
Yeah, I know there was a huge hype for that show, actually. I just couldn't get into it, to be
And now any CW show hitting 1.5 million views is good.
Yeah.
It's not good, man. That network is just in terrible trouble.
Problem being says I have more super chats to read out. I actually read out the last of the super chats there a couple of minutes ago. There was another two that I had to read out, and I read them out because I don't see any more in the live chat unless they've passed me by. But I think I read them all out anyway. I put a few up on the screen as well that I read out as well.
You can check at your YouTube back end.
Yeah,
go down to monetization, and then go to supers.
Right,
and then you can see your active live super chats.
Right, we'll have a look now. I'll see if I've missed any. I think I got them all anyway because I don't let them build up, so I'll try read them as they come. Flash is the best runner right now. A sad run, says Jake Equinox. Again, I haven't watched Flash, so I can't really comment on it. It just looked a bit too cheesy for me. And Ted is what's wrong with
that dog is crying.
What's wrong with you, buddy? Do you want to get up? Oh, he wants a Ted. Okay, come here. All right, he wants a sippy soda. Okay. Oh, he's getting upset now. See, this is what happens. The woke culture has affected Ted as well. You missed mine, says Problem Being.
There you go.
I swore I read yours out. I swore I read it out. If the fans don't like her, kill her off, says Tom Baker. Was that your super chat? I thought it actually didn't pop up on the screen. I'm being honest because but there you go. Yeah, that's what Tom Baker did actually say about Jodie Whittaker's doctor. If it doesn't, if fans don't like her, kill her off. But they won't do that.
But we can't kill her off.
No,
the BBC won't kill her off. She has to be given 3 seasons, so she has the same amount of seasons as Capaldi and the same amount of seasons as Matt Smith. They have to show that she isn't a failure by being a failure.
Yeah. Oh, Ted is definitely not happy today. She is a failure, Ted. There's nothing we can do about it.
I know. I'm sorry, dude. Just gonna have to deal with it.
Man, you just have to get with the program, mate.
Doggy, not happy with that. It's truth, Doggy. It's truth. Sorry.
But what you call it? Yeah, I just want to mention actually, Dan from the Facebook is going to be streaming with Starry Eyed Girl. I think it's this weekend, or they've already done it, or they're about to do a stream at some stage. But look out for it. It's going to be on the YouTube channel. So check out the Spacebooks YouTube channel. Starry Eyed Girl will be on that channel. It's good to see her back, especially after everything that has actually been happening on Twitter. Twitter is really. What was it? I got a notification off Twitter a couple of weeks ago to say it was my 2-year anniversary or something on Twitter. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, 2 years on this fucking cesspit. Don't ever join Twitter. If you haven't joined Twitter, don't. You think Facebook is bad? You ain't seen nothing. Trust me. I hear Gallifrey Base is pretty bad as well, but seriously, Twitter is like a bloody... If you have the slightest different opinion on Twitter, then it's like a pack of wolves.
You just have to have an opinion on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Exactly. That's the right thing to say. You just have to have an opinion. And if you have an opinion, you're going to offend someone out there. There's always someone to offend on Twitter. If you don't offend someone on Twitter, then obviously you're not using Twitter properly.
You're not Twittering correctly.
Yeah. Exactly. It's unbelievable. I don't mind Twitter. I try to avoid these assholes. Kelly, normally I don't let comments in like that because of the vile crap that was said about some of my guests, but I put that comment in because that is really true. I love it. Actually, I wanted to talk before because we're finishing up soon, because obviously you've got to fly off and do your thing. I'll be watching myself actually, because I've got the PlayStation 4. I want to see, is the pricing? I actually wanted to ask you, is it the pricing that's coming out, or is it just a demo again?
Well, I think it's the console reveal, which should, in theory, have some games that they'll be showing off as well. And maybe, we don't know, but maybe we'll get what the price is going to be.
I reckon it's going to be, because in Ireland, obviously, we use euros. I reckon around 550, 600 euro.
No, my bet is 600 quid.
Well, 600 quid in UK pounds.
Yeah.
Well, that'd make it about 7 here. Oh shit.
I think it'll be 6 now. I think the pound and the euro are essentially the same now.
Are they now? Oh, well then we'd be fine. But still, Jesus Christ, that much for a bloody console, man. They're getting it.
Well, so that's my guess. That's my guess anyway.
Are you gonna buy one?
I don't know. I'm more in the court of buying an Xbox at the moment.
Yeah,
it's the software. The hardware is much better on the Xbox than the PS5.
True. Yeah,
but it's the games. It's the what they show off. I mean, if they show off some real big titles, then it's going to be it's going to be a tough decision. But I'm kind of leaning towards the Xbox at the moment.
PlayStation, Sony has always been very clever. They'll have to have some release with it. And watch, there probably will be gameplay footage. But I just hope it looks. I've seen concept art and stuff, and I've seen fake ones or people saying it's being leaked and here's what it looks like. I just hope it doesn't look like that big monstrosity box thing that we've seen, because if it looks like that, no, I'm out. Even the controller looks a bit Xboxy on the PlayStation 5 this year. I don't like the controller. The controller already, for me, doesn't look great. See, I love the PlayStation 4 controller. The PlayStation, I've never liked an Xbox controller, and this new PlayStation one looks like an Xbox controller. As well, it all depends what titles they release on Xbox on PlayStation 5, because for me, the main titles for me will be obviously FIFA.
The Last of Us.
I won't be getting that. Well, come here. That was a game I was going to buy. And this is another reason why I'm seriously considering not buying the PlayStations, because the way Sony has behaved.
Yeah, fuck Sony.
That is disgraceful. And they don't really care. They never have, Sony. I mean, they don't care. I mean, the servers are I don't know, it's not just down to them, but the EA companies like that, their servers are shit. They don't really care about the fans. They only care about the paying fans, the fans that play online, the pros. They don't really care about us. Xbox, my brother had an Xbox until he switched over to PlayStation. I always liked an Xbox, actually. I used to play Skyrim on Xbox 360. Was it 360? I think it was the Xbox 360. I used to play Skyrim. Yeah, I used to be mad into those games, those big, mad, long, bloody Elder Scroll games, whatever you call them. Yeah, now I'm more into the shooty games, obviously. Yeah. Call of Duty 2. I have World War 2 now for PlayStation 4. I like me shoot me up games, alright. I complain about FIFA 20, FIFA every year, but still go out and bleed and buy the game. See, this is the thing. Go on. Yeah, I know. We all do it, though.
No, we don't all do it. I don't do it. I don't.
You've never done it.
No, fuck annual franchises. Annual franchises are cons. You're buying the same fucking game every year. There's never any bloody development with it. They just change the menus around.
I agree. And FIFA 20, the FIFA franchise is probably the biggest culprit of them all. No, you're right. I do agree with you. And we are fooled, but we do need our entertainment. And
we need our entertainment. I'm not going to shout at
anyone. Games, well, they were escapism until they got their hands on The Last of Us 2. That was a game that I was really looking forward to. And I'm never going to buy that game now. I'm never even going. I don't care. I'm not. It was just absolutely disgraceful. What I won't even say them, because even if you mention their name, the company's name, let's just call them Stupid Puppy. What Stupid Puppy and others did, censoring fans, was absolutely disgusting. and Sony played a part in that. So,
massive part in that.
Yeah, so it has kind of tainted. Well, Sony have always been a bit of shits anyway. They've always been hacked and everything as well. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know, but we're fools. You know, we want to be entertained, and there is some games out there. I don't know. I do like the specs of the new Xbox, I have to say. But I don't know. Xbox kind of fumbled up their presentation, didn't they?
They didn't communicate it properly.
Yeah.
They said it was a gameplay reveal. There was barely any gameplay. They didn't really stress enough that it was third party and it wasn't going to be first party games and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, it was badly communicated, but fair play. They came out at the end and they said they came out the next day. What the fuck? Oh, I think we've just had the what? It looks like maybe the price of the PS5's leaked.
Why? Well, how much? Quick.
Well, this is the dollar price.
Right.
$760.
What? Whoa.
This was the removed leak from US Amazon, apparently.
Whoa.
We'll see.
That is pricey. Holy shit. I told you this thing is gonna, and you know what they said, the recent pandemic won't have an effect on price. Wrong. It will. Of course it will. These people
the PS5 was always going to be pricey. It was always going to be pricey.
Well, at 700 and what? What did you say? 700 what dollars?
US Amazon had it up very briefly for $760 before being pulled down.
Wow. Oh my god. Well,
yeah, we'll see. But I said 600 quid and 600 quid.
Listen, that again, he stresses it is legal
dollars.
Right,
yeah, £600 in dollars is $756. So $760. So there you go. I think I might be onto. I think I might have got this one spot on.
You probably have. So who's gonna buy it now?
You can get yourself a decent PC. You can get yourself a decent PC for 760 quid.
I know you can get controllers for PCs now, but that's what I'd have to do, because I'm being honest with you. I am hard. Cheryl will tell you, I can hardly set up these bleeding streams, mate, let alone bleeding use a PC to play a game. So I'd have to have the controllers that you get with it if I was to get one. But I'm nearly tempted at this stage. I mean, you're right. You'd get a decent bloody. You could build your own computer for nearly that much. Not a great one, but a decent one enough to play games on anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lot of Wonga.
And I wonder, well, they always do deals, and that's my second PS4. We only got it last year. So I know they do if you trade in your old PlayStation 4, you get a certain amount off your PlayStation 5. But I'm telling you now, if it's not more than 200 quid what I paid for that, well, then they can go and kiss me arse. No way, man. That's that. I don't know. I think PlayStation 4 is going to be my last console, to be honest with you. I can't afford that shit.
Well, there's nothing. Just keep hold of your PlayStation 4. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it, and they'll still release games up to a certain point, and then they'll stop. But I'll still always have those games. So I mean, I don't know. I'll see. I say it all the time, and then I end up getting one. I'll find a way.
Life finds a way.
Yeah. Kip Ellis with a £2 super chat says top stream, as I'm still jealous of your wrist racer.
Yeah, my Dukes of Hazzard wrist racer from the 80s that I got when I was a kid, and still got it.
You still have it?
Yeah.
That's the one thing I regret, and we don't think of it as kids. Some of the old toys that I have, you'd never get them again. I mean, I used to have this, I don't know, I think every kid nearly had it. Do you remember that little portable car racer thing? It was like, It was like a little old-fashioned TV screen, and you had the controls on it. And it was basically like, it was a bit like the graphics of Tetris, but it was a racing car.
Oh, yeah.
Steering wheel on it. Do you remember you had the steering wheel on it, and you had
Yes.
and
the gear stick on the other side.
Oh, that was seriously. I'm not messing. I was even thinking, because all this madness has made me think about how great it was when we were kids, and it really was. I'm being honest. You know, grown old is shit. It is. It's shit. Look, no. Look,
I'm refusing to grow old, so
it's not that bad, right? It's not that bad. You do have more responsibilities, but I tell you one thing: I wish I was a kid again, because fucking cares in the world.
I don't, because I've got disposable income. I didn't have disposable income as a kid.
Yeah.
So I can get myself a toy, and I can look at it. I can appreciate it. I just don't play with it. That's all. That's the only difference between then and now. But now I can afford them, and back when I was a kid, you can't, because you're a kid. You don't have any job. You got no income coming in.
Yeah. It's just do you know what I had as well? E.T. Did anybody have E.T. with the red key?
I did not have an E.T. No.
Oh, I had an E.T. Yeah, and I had the E.T. as well with the spaceship, right? And you twisted the side of the spaceship, right? And you know the way the top of the spaceship has that dome piece on it, right? And you put it on the ground, and the spaceship moves on the ground. But when it gets to a certain point, the roof of the spaceship opens up, and ET pops out. I was mad into ET. I also had, believe it or not, as a kid a Chucky doll.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a Child's Play doll, right? See, I'll give my man that one thing, right? My man that, right, when it came to horror movies, I will say one thing, right? My mother and father never let us watch something that was inappropriate, right? But if they were watching a movie like, say, Alien, for example, they'd let us sit down and watch that, right? But when it came to the real gruesome parts, and they thought it was inappropriate, they'd get us to turn our heads. But we still got to see those movies as a kid. Now, the difference was, though, in front of me dad, that's what would happen. But my mum was the total opposite. She'd put on Nightmare on Elm Street, and she wouldn't get you to turn your head as a kid. So I got right now, I'll tell you the way it is with me. I watch a horror movie right now, and I can tell you now, I won't budge. No horror movie that they've made today has scared the shit out of me. None, right? I've become immune to it all. This is me mum, right? My mum was a great thing, right? So I owe all the movies and TV shows that I love, I owe to my parents, right? So growing up, I obviously watched, as I said, the horror movies, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser. Didn't like Hellraiser as a kid, still don't like it as an adult. Critters, you name it, any horror, The Omen, watched them all, right? As a kid, The Exorcist is my all-time favorite. I have to be honest, watching that girl come down do the spider walk is the most as a kid, that was terrifying as shit. But I think that was the movie that actually made me immune to all horror movies. Imagine watching that movie as a 9 or a 10-year-old, right? Now, today that would be classed as child abuse, but it didn't harm me. And this is what I think. I think the point that I was trying to make anyway is that I miss growing up as a kid, because there was none of this bullshit. Your parents weren't, there was none of this, if we let our kids watch this, it's going to harm them. It was kind of the opposite. It educated us, to be quite honest with you. I knew what was right from wrong, watching certain films, because the parents would point out, now this is wrong, you never do this, you know what I mean? It was. But now it's like we want to shield kids from everything. Could you imagine if I did this now? Obviously, my sister would kill me. But if I got my niece and my nephews together, right, and I put on The Exorcist for them at 11 or 12 years of age, they'd probably have a nervous breakdown. It's just I don't know what it is. We were just brought up different. We're a different generation. We're I don't know. I mean,
we're definitely a different generation.
Where they just pussyfied society, and it's sad to see. It makes me sad, but I wouldn't listen when I say I would love to be a kid again. Not now. Back then, I'd get a time machine and go back. I'd go back to the early 80s. That's where I'd start and just live out the rest of my days. And by the time I get to the 2000s, I'll be an old man and I'll be dead and I won't give a shit about everything that's going to happen in the next 10, 15 fucking years. Because I tell you, since we got to the 2000s, everything has just gone to shit. Right? We always had stuff hanging over us in the 90s and the 80s, even the 70s, 60s, people that grew up during that era, right? Even all the way back during World War I, World War II, right? But we always managed to get out the other side. I don't see us getting out. This society is going to change. And people like us are going to be looked at as a danger because everybody has lost a fucking plot. I just want to be a kid again back in the 80s. I'll see you later. I'm getting into my time machine now. I wish I had one. I'd be gone. But yeah, can I just ask you before we end, because we've got about 5 minutes before you have to dash off. What were your favorite movies growing up as a kid? A horror
I watched Terminator. I watched Aliens when I was about 12 years old and stuff. You know, RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop.
You know, the Rambos and stuff like that. Commando.
Yeah.
Predator.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. I loved all of that stuff.
Your favorite movie out of those two? I want to ask you because it's very interesting, right? Because I think both movies are great. But which is your favorite movie out of Predator 1 and 2?
Oh, 1. Predator 1, no doubt.
Because Predator 2 had Danny Glover in it and what's his name that dies as well that was in Alien. I can never think of his name. I'm sorry for disrespecting you.
Yeah. It's game over, man. It's game over, man. Yeah,
him. Yeah, that's weird. He died. Did he? He died in Terminator. Did he? Yeah, he died in Terminator. Died in Predator.
Died in Terminator 2.
Yeah, Terminator 2. Sorry, died in Predator.
And died in Aliens.
And died in Aliens. Yeah, Jesus, poor man.
Bill Paxton. That's it. Yeah,
Bill Paxton. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, I see. I mean, yeah, they were all great movies. I mean, they're the exact same movies I grew up with. And I mean, my parents had no problem letting us watch. Of course, now, in every household, it was different. I mean, they wouldn't let us watch sex scenes and stuff like that. And scenes that they thought were too brutal for us. We had to literally turn our heads. It used to be, as a kid. And you know what? I used to go, even as a kid, I remember, and I used to say to me, turn my bleeding head. I'm the oldest in the house. I should be able to bleed and watch. Like, I used to be giving her lip like that, then the slipper would come off.
I want to see some titties, Mum. I want to see some goddamn titties.
Remind me, Mum, be like, no, you can't watch it. And then she'd be like, she'd take off the slipper, whack across there, turn your head. Like, okay,
I will take a slipper if I can get some titties.
I tell you, they were the good old days. I'm telling you, man, the kids nowadays, they don't know how good we had it. And our parents were strict, yeah, but in the right sense. And they didn't shield us from anything. And I'll always be grateful for my parents. Look at all the movies and TV shows that I love are still all the movies and TV shows that I watched as a kid. I'm not saying I don't open my mind up to new stuff. I do. I've watched a lot of new stuff. But if you ask me which TV is better, my childhood TV is so much better than what we're getting today. I think you would agree with that one as well. I mean, it was so much better. Even movies.
Well, it always felt it at the time, but I guess every generation would say the same. The generation before us would say the same. Yeah. It's the same with music. You know, we are a product of our time.
Yes. Yeah.
We're all products of our time, no matter what time that may be.
Yeah, that's it. I wanted to ask Bill and Ted 3. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I thought the trailer looked
Yeah, same here. And I'm a fan of the first two movies. Again, I don't know. I question why this was being made. But when I seen Keanu Reeves was part of it, and then I heard they were going to have daughters, and the daughters were going to be smart, and then I was like, I see where he's going with this already. Yeah, why
I
can't
just
you make a Bill and Ted movie, fuck the daughters out of the picture altogether, and just have them going on an adventure and screwing up like they always do and having to fix it. That's all we wanted. We didn't want any bleeding politics with some bloody woman coming in and telling blah, 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 blah. Sick of it, man. Sick of it. Oh my
well, we don't know how it's going to transpire, but
let's be honest. It's probably going to go like that. The only movie that I actually am looking forward to, and if they screw it up, I tell you, I'm done. Ghostbusters. This movie has to work. And I'm being honest, the trailer was okay. I was overexcited at first. I've watched it again recently. It's not. I was excited at the time, but I just so much want this movie to work. But I'm hearing things, and I don't like it. I just hope Jason Rittman, is that his name? Yeah, just does. Listen, he spoke a lot on Twitter. He's actually said that he's gonna make a movie that is for the fans. I hope that's true, because I can't take another Ghostbusters 2016. Oh, and by the way, to what's his name? Kevin. What's his name? That director of Ghostbusters. Kevin Feige. No, not
Kevin Feige.
Yeah. I just want to say nobody wants your 3.5 hour cut of Ghostbusters 2016, and don't be blaming Hillary Clinton, Hillary Clinton. What was it? Who did he blame? Non-Hillary Clinton support. Yeah.
Oh, he blamed everyone by himself.
Yeah, blamed everybody but yourself. Listen, your movie was crap. Yeah, crap. I watched it. Actually, I have confessed on this channel. I've watched that movie 3 times. I gave that movie a go 3 fucking times, and 3 times I was bored to shit. Right? It was absolute and dance number. A dance number in a fucking dance. What the hell? And you know what? You deliberately hired
Paul Feig. That's it. Sorry, yeah. Paul Feig, not Kevin Feige. Yeah. Kevin Feige is the Marvel guy. Yeah.
You deliberately hired Chris Hemsworth, right? Deliberately, because he was playing Thor at the time, a male, macho character, and then you put him in Ghostbusters 2016 and you make him a laughing stock, a clown, right? Then you had fanny jokes or vagina jokes, whatever you want to call them, in a Ghostbusters movie, right? You had CGI that was out of a movie like the Haunted House, that fucking thing with, what's his name, Eddie Murphy. Is Eddie Murphy? I don't know. I forget. I never watched the fucking thing anyway, right? But I had CGI like that, right? Like Scooby-Doo kind of shit, yeah? And then the storyline or the plot or lack of, that's what the problem was with the movie. Now you actually want to show a 3.5 hour version. You want to actually, bother the world with a 3.5 hour version. Save yourself all the bother, because
I think you summed it up beautifully there with bother the world.
Yeah.
Stop bothering the world, Paul. Just stop bothering the world.
Just go away. Nobody wants you. And to all the actresses that were actually in the movie, listen, I know some of you are still a little butthurt even today. Listen, the reason why the movie didn't work is because none of you were funny in the movie. Now, some of you are funny outside that movie because we've seen you, and we actually like some of you, but you were shit in this movie. The bottom line is you were given a poor script, and then you acted it out shit. That's why Ghostbusters 2016 failed. Okay, so a 3.5 hour version is not going to rectify that rubbish. Actually, it will give YouTubers like me and as a chance to fucking...
Oh no, I never watched it. I don't.
You're not going to rip it to shreds. Well, if it does come out now, why would I put myself through 3.5 hours? An hour and fucking 45 minutes was bad enough. No, I'm not going to do it. Why would I? I'd probably end up jumping out the window anyway, and that'd be a waste. That'd be a waste. That'd definitely be a waste. Listen, I'm going to, because you want to head off, and I don't want to keep anymore. And listen, I want to thank you for coming on. Fair play to you, because I know Jordan, the week it looked like there might have been a chance it could have been called off because obviously you had the problems with the
it's okay. I made it work. And
now they didn't come and fix it because they wanted 70 quid off you, which is
for a quote. for a quote. Yeah.
You know what you should do? Fix it your fucking self. You probably know what the problem is and could do it better. Oh, you can't anymore, can't you? Not. You have to have all these inspectors and all come out and check it, isn't it? All this crap. It's in Ireland. It's the same. You can't get anybody to do the electrics in your house. You've got to get a registered electrician to do it, and then you have to have a certificate to prove that you got it done by a registered electrician. So maybe that's the same with the fucking plumbers. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to get it all corgi registered and all that.
Well, listen, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. And listen, you're more than welcome on here at any time, mate. It was a pleasure having you on. I mean,
thank you, dude.
Listen, mate, 100. We had 200 watching. I don't get 200 people watching me, so that's down to you. So thank you. I appreciate that. Do you want to let people know what you have coming? We know we have your stream tonight, but have you anything in the works in the next few days?
Well, as always, I'll be doing my regular kind of vids and stuff. In about half an hour on my channel, I'm going to be doing the PlayStation 5 reveal. So we're going to do a watch along of that. I'll get the link. I'll stick it in the description box, and then we'll be able to see what it looks like. Yeah, hopefully see some of the product, and then laugh at maybe the price.
Yeah, we're going to have it. I know I'll be there because I want to laugh with you. So I'll be in the chat watching along with you, and hopefully we'll have a good laugh, because if it is that price, they can go and kiss it. But yeah.
Thank you very much indeed for having me. Big thank you to the chat. Big thank you to the mods for being great. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. So thank you.
Thanks, no problem. Thanks for coming on. And everybody that's in the chat, thank you for joining me. I heard Purple Lady is in the chat as well. I will be organising another stream with you ladies soon enough, so we'll get in contact and we'll sort out. Chris,
I think Purple Lady chucked a super chat at you.
Oh, did she? Let's see. Okay. Oh, Jesus.
Fantastic stream. Thank you both. Big purple heart.
Oh, there it is. Yes, yeah, I have it here. Sorry, that's my bad. Purple Lady, thank you for that £2 super chat. And
just a couple of people wanted me to say, can I say racism? There you go, some racism for you. And someone else wanted me to go, no. There you go, there's a no. For you.
Fantastic stream. Thank you both. And the Purple Heart, as said there, Todd, sorry about that. And Loki's Morning of Mischief with a $2 super chat says, great stream, gentlemen. Well, it's only great when I have great guests on. So again,
I'm sorry about that
then. He's very modest. He knows he's a great streamer. So yeah, love your content, man. So just keep it up, man. And
thank you.
We'll be there anyway to support you anyway. Right, listen, I'll let you go. You could pop off. Sure, I'll pop in with you. I just want to make a few announcements here and stuff. But
sure. Well, thank you very much indeed, and hopefully see you guys on my channel about half an hour from now.
No problem. I'll be there, mate. I'll be there. Go on, talk to you soon.
All right. You take care then, dude. Thanks very much for having us. Tra.
See you later. And that was the brilliant heel versus Babyface as there. Thank you, pal, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, he does have that stream if you are interested in gaming. I'm sure it'll be comedy gold when the price is announced. I want to thank all my mods, and I got that super chat as well. Thank you for reminding me, guys, because I do have it up on streaming. I have it up on my phone now, so thank you. Don't forget, the channels are up on the live chat, and yeah, seriously, guys, really, really, really overwhelmed by the amount of support tonight. I hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. I most certainly did. He's a character and a half anyway. He's a legend. And Chris as well now managed to pull in a big one tonight. Yeah, do you know what? Fair play to him for coming on. You know, I have asked a lot of YouTubers to come on, and as you know, a lot of them have Ballstrek Gary himself now, Look, these guys are absolutely fantastic. They deserve your support, by the way, because they do support smaller channels like mine, and I appreciate that. I really do. We will have more guests coming up during the week over the next couple of weeks. I have we just have to finalize the day and the time, but I might as well tell you we have Bounding into Comics coming on the channel soon. Again, we will have Purple Lady on, and we have a couple of other channels as well that we have asked to come on too. So we will have a lot of guests, different guests coming on. And don't forget, we have a panel on Sunday as well with Balstrek, Rabbi, and Robert Meyer Burnett is going to be joining us, big Trekkie. And then on Saturday, we have the Classic who watch along. And then obviously we're here on Thursday as well. I mean, Friday, I should say, as well. So actually, I'm streaming all week. Yeah. So I'm going to be here all week for you. So listen, Purple Lady, we will get you on with Sammy Joe, or if you and we'll get you on with a couple of other YouTubers that want to come on that have started up channels. We want to get as many of the smaller channels as much exposure as possible. So I'll just say, if you haven't subscribed, Purple Lady, if you want to, just throw the YouTube. Actually, anybody that's in the chat that has a YouTube channel, before I switch off for the night, do me a favor and put it in the live chat there, and give yourselves a bit of and please subscribe to all the channels as well, because there's some wonderful YouTubers out there. So there's a couple of people in there that I know that have YouTube channels. So do me a favor and throw our channels up there, guys. And everybody in the chat that's watching me now, still 135 people. So I've managed to keep most of you here. So if you could do me a favor, guys, and subscribe to those channels as well. Tardis does exactly that. No bullshit. They just support us up. And listen, I got a lot of support from people when I was starting off, and it really meant a lot to me. As I said, Gary from Neurotics, Balstrek, Eddie Ascaro was another one that helped me along the way, and many more YouTubers out there have helped me. So yes, I will help anybody out there that has a YouTube channel, because I got that support, and it's only right that I give back. And I do think and I'm not having a go, but I do think that some of the bigger YouTubers tend to forget where they came from and forget that, it's a platform that a lot of us use, and it is a very competitive platform, and there is room for us all. But there's no harm in supporting each other. It's a good thing. There's nothing bad about it whatsoever. So yeah, anybody has it doesn't matter whether it's a YouTube channel, a Facebook page, or a Twitter account you want to promote, providing it's not anything that, people would be offended by. And I mean, the type of stuff we'd be offended by. Forget about the snowflakes, because they're offended by if someone even picks their nose or something. You know what I mean? That's how ridiculous they are. But just once it's not out of order, I will promote away. So that's everything. So thank you. We're really, really overwhelmed. I really am. That's why I'm kind of stuck for words, because this has been my biggest stream. Ballstreck stream with Gary was big as well. So I really thank those guys, because it's good for the channel. I love you all. Listen, stay safe, look after yourselves, and until tomorrow, good night, and yeah, just look after yourselves. Listen, if you've only joined the channel, I kind of go on a little bit sometimes, but I'm gonna go now. But thanks to all my moderators. Thanks to everybody that contributed to, with a super chat. I really appreciate it. And everybody, do me a favor before you go. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Good night. I'll see you soon.